The whole reason we have government and laws in the first place is the assumption that people are not perfect. And then getting imperfect people to make those laws is certainly potentially going to end badly sometimes, as we saw this decade with the policy pandemic.
Not all expressions of hateful views amount to incitement. To determine whether there is incitement, we have to consider the context, the intent of the person speaking, the likelihood that others will act on the incitement, and other factors. Does this mean that we must just accept the expression of hateful ideas if there is no incitement? Absolutely not. People are free to express even hateful personal opinions, but they are not entitled to a large audience.
Now, here's a leftist myth. It's a doublespeak. They're trying to confuse people by pretending that what they call hate speech may be entitled to be articulated, but it's not entitled to be heard. This is doublespeak. He said, I'm not entitled to a large audience. Here's the problem. That's exactly what freedom of speech means. It doesn't mean that you have a right to a large audience, because freedom of speech never means you have a right to a large audience. And so what exactly is he talking about if he's talking about something that's never true? What he's talking about is the right to actually impede somebody's freedom of speech, which is why it's doublespeak. He's saying you have the right to say it, but you don't have the right to a big audience. Well, nobody has the right to a big audience. But you don't have the right to choose what does and does not have the potential for a big audience to be heard. And this is the problem with social media censorship, with big tech, is they are presuming to choose what people should and shouldn't hear instead of letting people choose for themselves. So this is a whole heap of doublespeak. Yes, freedom of speech means you have the right to articulate even unapproved opinions, even opinions that I find reprehensible. And that is very, very important, that people always have that right, and that nobody is ever given the power to choose what opinions are approved or not approved. And this is the problem with the misinformation, disinformation agenda that the Australian government, both Liberal and Labor, have previously floated as a good idea to regulate around. No, it's not. It's a terrible idea, because nobody should have the right to decide what is or isn't a good idea, because the person who has that right